Welcome back to Doctor's Orders. My name's Keegan, and we are here for our daily dose of reading music for the guitar. I post these daily, and I post general topics weekly, so please like and subscribe if you like and want to subscribe. Let's see. Today, we're going to be doing 16th notes. So, no new notes for this one, just kind of going over some new rhythms. All right. So here's some 16th notes. And actually, before I get into details about how to count these and how to play these and all that, I'm just gonna play it. I'll put on the video and I'll play along with it. Yeah, that way if you already know how to do this, you get a quick little review and you could just move on. But if this is new to you, then I'll go over that afterwards. Okay, and you'll notice that every single note is on the note A. Okay, so don't need to worry about switching notes for this one. Okay, and again, the way I have it set up now with the video, I don't know what note's coming on the page turn, so I might miss the first beat. Alright, here we go. Hasn't started. Not starting. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Two, three, four. Oh. Three. Made a little mistake there. Alright, started off a little shaky there, and then I made a mistake on one of these, maybe line 3 or something. Okay, so let's go over this. So 16th notes, in case you haven't picked up on it, are when you have the beat divided into groups of 4. So if you look at the first line, you've got 4 16th notes, and by the way, you can tell they're 16th notes because, of course, there are 2 beams stacked on top of each other. So the way you count these is, so a beat is the number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So with 16th notes, you say 1 E and da. So 1 E and da. Those are the 4 sounds you can say to count the 16th note. So that first measure would be 1E and a 2 and 3E and a 4 and. Okay. And yeah, so that's pretty straightforward when you have 4 in a row. But then it starts to get tricky when you have a rest sometimes. So if you look at measure 5, for example, you have that at the very beginning of the measure, you have a 16th note rest. So that would be 1, but no sound. So 1, then E and 1 E and 1 E and okay? And you get that rhythm again a few times on that line. And then the next variation comes in measure 8, where you have an 8th note rest. So that would be 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and So that's that rhythm. Okay. And let's see. And then we start to get other variations as we move along. Measure 12, 1 E and So you have 2 16th notes and then an 8th rest. An 8th rest has 2 16th notes inside of it, right? So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and So measure 12 is 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. There's a quarter rest on 4. All right, and then we start to get these ones. So on measure 16, we have 1 E and 2 E and so you have an 8th note and then 2 16th notes. 8th note is half the beat, so that's 1. And then the next 2 16th notes are basically where the and is. So 8th note, if we had a bunch of straight 8th notes like beat 3 of measure 16, you would say 3 and, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and. So if we basically just chop those 8th notes in half, then we get 16ths, right? Instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and, it's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and so on. All right, so 16 would be 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4. Okay, and you get that same rhythm reversed in measure 20. So that's 1 E and so 2 16ths and an 8th note. Measure 20, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and great. Yet another variation, measure 24, dotted 8th note, more dotted notes. Okay, so I've said this once, but I feel like this concept takes a long time to kind of wrap your head around. But you put a dot next to a note, it is the value of the note plus half of itself combined. Okay, so if you put a dot next to an 8th note, in this case, it is an 8th note plus half of an 8th note, which is a 16th note. Or you could think of it like this. A dotted 8th note is the same as 3 16th notes. Okay, so if measure 24, it's 1 E and, so 3 16th notes, 1 E and then because there's a 1 16th note also on beat 1. So measure 24, you see a dotted 8th, and then you see a 16th. So that's 1 E and 2 E and okay. If you see those, a bunch of those together, 1 E and 2 E and 3. So you probably heard this rhythm before, and it starts to sound familiar when you see a bunch of like a dotted 8th and a 16th note kind of strung together. Okay, and then that rhythm is flipped again in measure 28. So this time it's 1 E and 2 E and so we get a 16th note on the downbeat, measure 28, 1, and then you get a dotted 8th, which happens on 1 E, but then it just rings out for the last 3 16th notes. So 1 E and 2 E and okay. So if I clap measure 28, it's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and whew, a lot to take in there. So I'm going to go through and play these again, and maybe try to count at times while I'm reading. Although it might cause me to make a mistake, but I will try. Okay, so let's try it again. One more time with the video play along thing. 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1, 2, 3. Sorry about rushing earlier. 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Had a hard time. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4. 1 E, 2 E, 1 E and a 2. Whoops, I got caught up. 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 E. 4 E and a 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 2, 3, 4. All right. So, a prime example. If nothing else, I'm an example of you make mistakes, you just keep going. So a lot of times, especially when you're working on stuff like this, when you're working on reading, again, if you make the same mistakes over and over again, definitely go back and work on those measures where the problems are. But if it's just for the sake of sight reading and you know how to do it, you just mess it up that time. An anomaly, I think it's better practice just to keep going, because that's life, you know. Make mistakes, gotta keep going. Okay, so that was if that was new, I'm sure that was pretty difficult. So definitely just watch it again, and 16th notes aren't going anywhere, so you get a lot more practice with that. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Hopefully that was helpful, valuable to you. And if it was, of course, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.